Dun, 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 dun. Always a really good sign when I'm not on the camera, even though I am on the camera. Unless this is some sort of like super fun delay right now. I'm just curious. All right, so we have at least some movement. Hey, Albert. All right, so we're moving a little bit better. We seem to have a little bit of a delay, but at the same time. So, for some reason, the streaming software tells you that you really should go at 60 frames per second, which is like HD real time, right? So, long story short, Raleigh, Tones. I mean, we got everybody. Yay, huzzah. Well, minus a couple. Jay and a few others. But, yeah, long story short, I switched everything down to 24 frames per second. So, let's see how this goes, right? Yeah, it's a little thing, but it's like I was all choppy, and now it's a little choppy, and I look like I've got about a 5-second delay based on what I can see here. But yeah, let's give it a go. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna have to be looking that direction occasionally to check comments until I figure out where to put this thing. So it's like, hey, if I'm looking at the camera, I can see you guys or what. But right now, I've got my markers there and the microphones here, of course. So technology. All right. So let us see. Yep, that'll work. So, how about those local sports teams? Filling in the white. Well, I'm glad to hear that it looks better. It's a little thing, but I'm trying to figure out how to make this work because it's like, I'll figure out something to put over here in the corner, but for now, it's like, well, we'll give it a shot. Like, trying to remember where things are, but, you know. Technical difficulties. I was sitting there going, why is the computer being so loud? It made no sense whatsoever. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's trying to run it literally double real life speed. Like movies are like 24 point something frames per second to begin with. So, first world problems. Could be worse. And at least I'm actually seeing your comments within like a minute of them coming in versus 5 or 10 minutes later. Like it was ludicrous. So, but yeah, this is kind of. I'm probably gonna go live later tonight, but act with actual drawing. But I wanted to see how I could get this all to work, up and running again. Update all the software, get the timer working. The timer's not working right now, so it's like, well, I'll figure that out later. Perils of being self-employed. You got to figure out all this stuff on your own time. But let's see. Yeah, high-end PC. And that's the thing is, by sheer definition, both of my computers are actual high-definition computers. It's just, it's what they're being run for now. Like, there's one over here in the corner that is a gaming computer, which I originally had bought for the streaming purposes as well. So, long story short, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So, trying to remember if the A up on his, I think his A is colored in. It's just trying to remember certain things between the cartoon show and whatever. I think this one is actual white and then this one's colored in, but I don't remember. I suppose I can kind of go with it since it's technically a hybrid of the two versions. No, I didn't do the Four Horsemen. mostly just it was only this is one of those Comics Elite ones from a couple weeks back when I was actually at the shop, and they were just like, I want Apocalypse, and I got a headshot of Apocalypse from one person, and I got a mini of Apocalypse in the other, and I was like, man, it'd be really fun to be like, draw the rest of them. So who knows? Maybe I'll add, just do another one, and it'll be like, here's Archangel and all them. As long as I don't have to do the son of Wolverine with blue skin and yellow hair, that one. I think his name is James as well. I'm trying to remember. I think they gave him the James Howlett name. Comic books are an adventure some days. You just kind of have to smile and nod and go, yep, those things happened. But this is a kind of testing out and seeing how things work. And let's see, we're going to see how good this camera works while I'm actually, because I can't be this close when I'm actually drawing, but I can be this close when I'm doing some coloring. Like, that's not an issue. But, it's the making sure I look camera left, camera right, technically, but get everything cropped up and set up and ready to go. Hey Dave, how are you? Sorry about that. Your message didn't load in. Trying to get this all set up since I'm pretty much done with the road. I was going to be doing a show this weekend in Florida, but long story short, people in the house got their booster shots, and I was like, you know what? I just don't want to risk it. And they were like, we're not, transferable or anything. And I'm like, ounce of prevention, pound of cure. So, trying to get everything sorted. I apologize for the mess, by the way. I'm still kind of figuring out where I want to put like my trash can and things. I mean, generally speaking, I'd like to be able to get into a routine of going live a couple of times a week for streaming. It'll kind of depend on what my production is. Like, hey, if I'm working on a variant for somebody or something like that, like an actual published cover, then I won't be able to go live during that. I'll be working. I'll be like, nope, sorry, gotta go. Get that all sorted and figured out. But, if it's something where it's like, hey, couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, that'd be great, even if it's just over the weekend or whatever have you. I'm just, as odd as it is, I don't want to be in competition with, like, hey, if there's a comic shop that goes live at a specific time or another artist that goes live at a specific time, I don't want to be, here's another person that you have to rapidly jump back and forth between, as they draw and create stuff. But ideally, it'd be, something where we can go in and do kind of a, here's a live stream and here's not a live stream, here's some recordings, transition as we were, because Josh is very tired of the show circuit after this year. After, 8 or 9 years doing it. Have you worked any on your own book project? That's a good question, Jay. Yes and no. I spent the last 2 or 3 months here trying to readjust and get things sorted. That is part of this whole thing about being here. My own project will not get worked on in this group. I have a private group for people that have actually gotten commissions from me back during our great lockdown. And in that case, I will be going live for those people. So those people will get to see behind the scenes and things like that. So it'll just be trying to manage my time and balance out when I do things. Like if I can just do videos, editing things here and there. But basically, yeah. It's one of those I wanted to, give sneak previews to the people that did help actually support me during lockdown and COVID and things like that. So, and I have not utilized that as much as I should have. So, they normally get to see everything 3 or 4 days ahead of schedule, if not a day ahead of schedule. So, they'll get to see all of that stuff worked in progress. But there's just really only so much time that you have in the day. Like if you're working projects for other people, you don't have time to work on stuff for yourself. And so that'll be a good chunk of this fall. I was reflecting on that the other day, actually. I was like, you know what? I haven't actually worked on anything just for me in probably 6 months or so at this point. Like there's been stuff for shows and there's been stuff for, other kinds of things, but, nothing for me. I've got like a sketchbook with a bunch of random doodles and things, but that's about it. Hey, Katrina. But yeah, short version without rambling. Soon. I was actually, funny enough, I was planning to start trying to work on that book once I have more book stuff ready. Because the goal is have a bunch of licensed books so that when my book comes out, there's actually an audience for it. So, little things. But you got to do it in stages. So, cross those bridges when we come to it. Yes, I think that'll do nicely. Darken this side up a little bit. We're going to zoom out a little bit more. Alright, blotter page. Oh, that's nice. It's almost like I've been doing this for a while. But yeah, Jay, that's part of this joys. It's like I've basically been able to write more about it and outline more about it and do some more solid character study. But haven't been able to actually work the pages yet. Bills take priority. Especially when you look at it as, hey, 14 shows back to back. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying 14 shows back to back. You basically end up with 2 days, maybe 3 home. And then you're like, oh, wait, I got to work on this one piece because so-and-so will be there. Well, studio's not too bad. I mean, as it stands, I've got some art up on the walls and got, some more in the wall that, let's see if I can point to it from here. That whole shelf back there is nothing but blank covers, so that's part of this whole goal for live streaming is to be able to knock those out. Be able to take on the world in that capacity. I'm like, what you got? I'm like, oh, I got all sorts of things. Look at this. Bam. Yeah, sometimes coloring is super, super fast tone. But, some days not so much. Like, I'm going to put this just here for a second. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go grab the books here. And be like, oh no, look away, don't look. I'm like, move the camera. I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm vain. Alright. So, like, these are some of them that I'm trying to have out by, like, Friday and stuff. But, like, perfect example. I can't see whether or not this is actually showing things. Here we are. Alright, so, like, that one, it's you know, pencil and ink and marker, but it's also paint. Like all of that black, after I did that, I had to go back over and do black paint on top because I don't know what it is, but some of these covers are just not working anymore. And then we have Spawn, of course, same thing. The material, you probably can't see it too well, but like in this area right here, for example, feels more dry erasy, so you got to end up going back over it again with paint. And then it was like something that's so super simple, super quick, because it's on a black cover, I got to do it in layers, you know. Oh no you don't. It dimmed out on me again. I was like, I can't see the screen. There we go. Hulk smash. You know, and then more black paint escapades. This is one of those 2010 covers that just glips and globs and just is awful. And yet another black cover. Yay! So those are just mini ones. But you get the idea. Like some are super quick, but some of them take way too long. Let me know when you open up commissions. I want you to do one for my son. All right, cool, man. Yeah, I got to figure that out. I'm still working on stuff, but ideally the goal is to knock this all out by Friday. Here's another stack. And then we have, of course, Something is Killing the Children. Let's see. Something is Killing the Children. Let me back this camera up again, just because it makes life easier. And then we'd be like Harley, Venom Pool. I thought about coloring that one, but I was like, know what? We got some She-Hulk, some Harley Quinn, some Gambit, Vampirella. It's a nice study on the Dark Powers cover. Of course, Silence, first illustration. Nice little Deadpool. The Harley Quinn from the Batman White Knight series. Nice little first costume version. Nice little classic Harley. More paint, of course. More Erica Slaughter. Future State Wonder Woman. Yeah, so these ones are all going to Comics Elite, as far as that's concerned. So these ones are part of they set the prices, they do all that fun stuff. But yeah, so it's like I haven't not been working, but my hand has suddenly stopped wanting to cooperate while I've been working on things. It'll just like start to tense up, and I think it's just comes down to is it's just been switching back and forth between here I'm working on copics, here I'm working on this, you know. First world problems. And thank you, Katrina. I appreciate it. But good times. All right, Albert. Talk to you later, dude. Be safe. Thank you, Tone. I appreciate it. I've been trying to work, really trying on it, Jay. I've been really trying to make it so, like, hey, you can recognize if I'm doing this, you know, on paper or a computer, you'd be like, oh, that's very clearly, it's a Josh Lyman colored, Josh Lyman drew it. You know, like, we all know if Sanju colored a piece, you know, because he's got that nice color palette that he uses. He's like, I know no matter what, if this character's purple or red or whatever have you, it's going to have these tones. So I want to be a jack of all trades, but still want to be able to hire somebody and be like, hey, go do this for me. Go color these things, because some days you can knock stuff out no problem, and some days you just need a nap. But yeah, I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I do the test and see how the video works. First world creator problems. I formatted my last kids book, discovered it was 17 pages short. Quick, write some more. I'm guessing you're talking about like an Amazon format as far as being short. I was seeing some people make some comments about their side hustles and things like that. Let's see. That's too dark. I don't need that dark. How about the blueberry? Yeah, that'll work. Technically, it's not blueberry. This one is clematis. Clematis. It's like a TikTok trend. No. You're thinking of cumulus. Instead of Fahrenheit, of course. And I apologize for lack of sound or if you're hearing too much. 100 pages to have spine printing. Got one of those jam session ones. I got one. Jay, I don't remember which one you got, but hopefully that means I did a decent enough job. Ernie keeps giving me crap about putting too much time and effort into things. These days, he's like, bro, just knock it out. And I'm like, I can't do it. You looked into Lulu yet, Katrina? Just saying. Because they can do perfect bind. Yeah, we were knocking out, I want to say we did 37 pieces? What was it? I don't remember. From Comics Elite, the jam pieces. We did like 37 pieces in like, I want to say 2 hours or something. Three hours. Either way, it was a ridiculous amount of time. That's all I remember. It was one of those, by the end of it, we all had some sort of cramp or bruise in our hand. It was like, ow! But we were fueled by the challenge, I think is the best way to put it. And being able to actually be in a room with other artists again, like that was just, it was just rocket fuel for us. All right. Yeah, Lulu, in my opinion, is worth it. Plus, they also will let you join, you can actually link it up with proper ISBN as well. Plus, it prints in other countries. So, little things all add up. All right, cool. So, let me see. Y17. Like, I know they just recently did a price increase because of, we're having paper shortages. Well, we authorize the use of other things because they think we don't understand how that works. But anyways, that's a rant for another day. Sorry for the bumping. I'm, like I said, getting used to where things should be going. Now, if we could only get this thing to actually stay put. I purposely connected it to the other table. What you got? Sound is great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, directional microphone. So it's one of those things where it's like I'm talking in this direction and it's only designed to pick that up. But I was worried it was picking up like sound of the computer or stuff like that. So I appreciate you bearing with me while we do the test run, because I want to be able to actually go in and, zoom in and do all the proper stuff and, get a real camera set up over here versus using my phone. But I'm glad that it is moving in a way that should actually function. Walk like an Egyptian. So, X-Men 97 is coming back. I wonder how that's gonna work. I'm very curious. Do 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 do. That is too blue, but instead of going, oh no, it's ruined. Nope. The Lord said, where's the BV-23? I'll take a BV-4. That's a 23. That's a 23. And this is also a 23. Should just use the big one since I have it available. Bump. All right. All right, and now the real challenge. Figuring out which one of these that I don't have to treat, because for some reason the paint has started drying and being problematic, like that, where I opened it up and it almost blew up on top of the illustration. There we go. That could have been bad. Here's some ASMR for you. Normally I'm like the #1 person who's like, oh my goodness, you gotta use these pens, they're the best, but I've just been having more and more issues this last couple of days. I'm wondering if there's an air issue in my studio now that I've got things blocked off. I actually bought a fan earlier for that reason. I was like, you know, it's a little stuffy in here. At least this one's working okay. So far, no glitches. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Extra shiny and metallic. All right, and now the most important thing of all. If Albert was here, he would know what's what. Yeah, just trying a little bit. It's a little thing, but it's like just a little thing. Oh wait, I already did sign it. Never mind. I was like, wait, don't forget to sign. And I'm like, oh wait, I already did sign it. Never mind. Slightly better. All right. So we're going to hold that there for a second. By hold it there, I mean, I'm going to put up our fun little sign. Skidoo. As I go spray this. And we're back. Door closed, door spray, and there we are. Little thing. Da 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 da. And now this gets scanned. And yeah. Yoink! Alright, well, I guess that pretty much covers the test stream. I'm going to look back and skip through this a little bit, see what's what, see how many zooms, angles, set if I can set up any kind of like icons and be like, oh, if I move it here or here, I know which way to move the camera, so I'm not bumping it. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in and bearing with me while we tried this bad boy out. And if I don't see you later tonight, I'll definitely see you tomorrow. So, deuces. Peace. Bye. Are you sure you want to end the video? Yes, I'm quite sure. And